In today's video, we're going to be comparing the preset setups within the F1 23 game with a full-blown F1 esports setup and seeing the true differences that can be unfolding around a lap of Mexico. I've done these conditions as equal as I possibly can. To be honest, I was using the same force feedback settings, I was using the same physics with 120 FPS, I was using the same graphics as well. Literally the only difference is that I'm not playing on the build that we used for the preparation for the season. Of course, as you can see by having the Alfa Romeo, and then when I do my lap after, you see I have the green car. So that's the only difference, is a visual color change on the livery. But apart from that, everything is the same. And you can see right now that the preset setup, of course, with the highest downforce configuration with preset 5, of course has a lot of understeer, and that is literally just the biggest limitation on this setup. Is just the pure understeer when you try to get back to the throttle. As you can see, it will play out quite a lot on the final apex of the lap, that as soon as we go back to the throttle, you have that wall of understeer that limits you. But of course it brings stability, it brings confidence, and it's a very accessible setup for people who don't have hours to grind at home and maybe can be playing on the controller as well. If you want to go quick on the preset setup, you really need to put the brake bias more to the rear, like 54, and then really try to drift your way around the apex, and that is the fastest way, definitely, with the preset setup. But across the line, we do a 15.4 on the lap time with a short qualifying configuration, what is more or less Q3 grip, to be honest. So you can see with a 15.4 in a Q3 grip configuration, and as you'll see by my lap in a moment, it's not my PB, it's not the best lap I've done on Mexico, purely because I want to keep this more fair and comparable. I don't want it to be like me setting a lap what I've done like 8 hours of practice in one day to get to. This lap was just a very nice short qualifying lap as well. As you can see, we lost a bit of time in the first sector, so it was not my peaking lap at all, but I think that makes the test a little bit more comparable, to be honest. I think then it doesn't make it like the RNG, and it doesn't make it so much of a peaking lap time. But as you can see, the biggest difference is literally just the rotation between the F1 esports setup and the preset setup as well. When we're going through these low-speed corners, when the preset setup, comparing to the esports setup doesn't struggle for rotation once you get back to the power, whereas the preset setup, as soon as you start to get back to the power, has quite a lot of understeer, and that becomes the biggest limitation. With the preset setup, you can run more rear with brake bias, of course, rear locking, and get the rotation naturally because of that. What helps you reduce a lot of time loss. But ultimately, as you see, we're going to come across the line, and we're actually going to do a 15.4, no, 14.4, my apologies, on this lap, what is literally just under a second faster than the preset setup. And considering pole was like a low 14 in esports, I think to only have a preset setup that is 1.2 seconds away from esports times, to be honest, I think is not that bad, especially because we did a full season of preparation on this game. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments. This was just a very quick video because I had this idea this morning, so hopefully you found it enjoyable. I certainly found it interesting anyway to see the time difference. But yeah, hopefully you found this video useful, informative, fun, and yeah, I'll catch you soon for the next video coming up soon. Ciao, ciao, bye bye.